Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Packers going up against the Lions. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Tonight, we'll have the final two games of this kickoff weekend, and we begin with a great one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. On first down, it's Stafford. Ebron caught left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Here's Stafford now on second down. This is Riddick on the screen. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Stafford on third down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Ebron with it over the middle. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense. And he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game. Plays with passion.
Now the Notre Dame man. This is Theo Riddick. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Stafford on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's brought down. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Detroit.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up second down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Demarius Randall is a versatile player. Played both safety and cornerback in college. They're using those same skills in the NFL.
10 yards still left on second down. On second and 10, Stafford. Can't find anyone open. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
A first carry now. This is Lacy. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU, was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential. He's realizing it here.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Out to the flat for Lacy. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacy. A gain of 3, second down. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
DeAndre Levy is one of those linebackers who makes everyone around him better when he's on the field.
Now Rodgers. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
To throw is Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacy. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And it's second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Rodgers will try again on second down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Here's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as well. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
22! Oh, here, 22! Set, waiting!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes where people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the D-line's going to spread out. On 2nd and 10, Stafford looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by... There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. But we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Crosby on now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field.
Hey, tag 50 left! Monday!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Easy.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And really just a heck of a catch. That's a really good receiver making a nice play.
And against a really good defensive back. Right there together, and over the top, the receiver wins the battle.
They go play action here on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And Jones has it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Big 20. Set. Red 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Set, 180. 59.
Back to the air. Stafford up. Now the ball comes loose to the right side to Eric Ebron. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Over.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Caught on the right side by Adams. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
A really nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
So out now come the Lions. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
Monday.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Red zone opportunity. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
Now Rodgers. This will be caught at the 2. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 3rd down, here's Lacy. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks, and now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 3. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback right in the face.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down.
Hey, I need one. Set, lady, 22. 59. He's alert. Hey.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now they're in the hurry-up. 2nd down, the ball on the 2 here, 2nd and goal.
Eddie Lacy's build is one for goal line running. I know he's got a little more wiggle and shake than you expect, but this is what you count on, isn't it? Hand him the ball here and let him run over some people.
Another shot here from the 2 as they come up on 3rd and goal. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Crosby puts it through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trio right, trio right.
The final shot before the breaks. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Again, it's Lacy. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. The stop made by Devin Taylor.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Rodgers to throw. He's got his target. It's Cobb. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. 2nd down and just 1.
Over.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 42 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So we're going to look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And this would complete to Andre Roberts. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Caught on the right side by Jones. He got 29 yards that time. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come out fine. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
On the ball. Set, move 60.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And now here is another interception. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd down, Lacey. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And Cook has it left side. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Richard Rodgers, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And the Packers are pouring it on. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Calling a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Jacob Shum now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get loaded in those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. The busy night continues for Lacey. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
23 yards on the play. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
2nd down following the run. They run it again with Lacey. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's going to air one out. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's something that there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Out to the flat for Riddick. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him.
And my goodness, another interception. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. The big boy's big dream right there. He got to rumble and stumble all the way for 6.
Nothing like big man with football, is there? I mean, that brings people onto their feet every single time. And his dream was answered on that one, wasn't it? It was realized. He picks it off and takes it to the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. After the interception, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll be first down Lions. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he gets his receiver hit and hit hard.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Julius Peppers in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. To throw on second down is Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Andre Roberts was the intended target. Now fourth down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because...
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Defense showing blitz. One back is Lacey. And they'll give it to him here. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now Rodgers will hand to Lacey. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now Rodgers. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Tim Mastay now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is taken at the 18. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Stafford over the middle, complete to Tate. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. To the air again, Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
It's caught. Jones. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. 3rd and 2, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Stafford. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Oh, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Rodgers looking to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Off the play fake to Lacy. Here's Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Kaepernick's 49ers going up against Manning's Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey as we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Kaepernick, and his first look is incomplete. And here's the headshots for the offense, and Carlos Hyde, a talented back.
Has taken over as the lead runner. A terrific talent. Can batter you inside, but has more speed than what you expect to take it the distance.
Kaepernick will try again on second down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And the defense for New York.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is one of those tall corners that fools you with his ability to change directions. DRC can play.
91.
On second down, here's Kaepernick. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. On third and long, it's Kaepernick. And that's caught by Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Here's Kaepernick to throw. Smith catches left side. 26 yards on the pickup there. And the 49ers are set up now with a first and goal. Fresh set of downs here. Kaepernick now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a second and goal. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw is Kaepernick. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it third and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now Kaepernick again. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jeremy Curley, a 5-yard touchdown. And the 49ers drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Here's the former 7th-round pick, Rashad Jennings. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
They run again with Jennings. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And the 49ers on the defensive side of the football.
Eric Armstead was a big-time high school basketball player turned into college football All-American. Now they're counting on him in the NFL to fulfill his promise.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively, they knew. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They do go for it. It's Manning. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Give him 14 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Jennings. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Manning. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Here's Jennings. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Manning. It's caught, Shepard. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
To me, there's nothing like watching rookie effort in the NFL. So excited to be there. They're going to give you the max on each and every play, aren't they?
Well, he proved himself on that catch, that's for sure.
I think he may have proved himself to the point where he's going to get a second here.
This is Jennings. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Manning to throw on second down. Drops it off in the flat to Jennings. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On third and short to give to the tight end. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Jarrell Adams, 14 yards. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. He dumps it to Hyde. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Kaepernick to throw on second down. Caught outright by Patton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Now Kaepernick throwing on second down. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They do go for it. It's Kaepernick. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be asked.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Now Manning. It's caught. Shepard. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go total.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Jarrell Adams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants are in for 6. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because
now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Hey, 91. 91. On
1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They go play action for Hyde. Now Kaepernick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Kaepernick now to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one is incomplete. So this guy's just sitting there, right? He's got like 30 hot dogs in front of him. And what's that? Apparently we're back. Okay, so Larry's halftime show got cut off. Sorry, we were doing story time here in the booth. We are ready, though, for the third quarter. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Jennings. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll give the Giants a first down.
Well, that's the kickstarter right there. Eli Manning finding his guy, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, it's a deadly combination, isn't it?
It really is, but what really makes it work is just how unflappable Eli is with his demeanor, able to maintain his calm and his poise, because we know OBJ, he can run pretty hot and get excited out there.
Sometimes just one-handed grabs for him.
It doesn't matter what it is. Just throw it up there. He'll go get it.
And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
The tackle by Tremaine Brock. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Manning now on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running...
And he is in! Touchdown, Giants! Bobby Rainey punching it in from a yard away. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Back to the air on second down. It's Kaepernick. On the left side, it's McDonald. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now Kaepernick over the middle to Smith. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Off the play fake to Hyde. Here's Kaepernick. And going over the middle here to Curley. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes.
Rashad Jennings, he's all alone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Giants. Rashad Jennings, 79 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Throwing on first down is Kaepernick. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it's a second down. Now Kaepernick throwing on second down. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So the D-line's going to spread out. On first and 10, here's Kaepernick. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game. They want to keep it going.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Throwing on first down is Manning. He's got time in the pocket. Over the middle to Beckham. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Now it's Jennings. And they'll get him down right. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Throwing is Manning on third down. He finds Beckham complete. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
It's a loss of 4 there. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Toss play to Jennings. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. On third and long, it's Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, Eli comes off, and on is Josh Brown for the field goal try. And Brown able to put it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Time for a break. This one. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They go play action for Hyde. Now Kaepernick. Rod Streeter, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
It's always a good play when you're able to bat a ball away or down, because if you actually tip it in the air, now the offense is getting a second shot at catching the football, or another receiver may come along and grab it out of the air and turn it into a big play. So if you make a play on the ball, make sure it's knocked away or down. Otherwise, there could be some jeopardy.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Kaepernick, got to have this one. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Cuts it out here, left sideline. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it. Because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So here we go. 1st and 10 now. On 1st down, Kaepernick. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
91. Hey, 91. 91.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Kaepernick. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Off the play fake to Hyde. Here's Kaepernick. And he comes back with one complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. 22 yards on the pickup there. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long.